Hello. I'm Hans, and I'm here with...
Hello, I'm Zane.
And we did one intro for this. This is going to be recorded post. We felt like it might be valuable to, before we get into it, add some precursor, some context, as far as two things, which we, again, will allude to later in the episode. First is that this audio is going to sound really different from the next audio that you'll hear with our commentary.
We may or may not have started in a cafe.
And then ended up at your house.
With people everywhere. Yeah, now we're at my house.
Which, again, we'll get to later. And then, moreover, as this is another feature episode, this is more about expanding on the idea of what this show is themed after and why it airs at the time that it does, which is Fridays at 3 a.m. Every other Friday, I guess I should say, at 3 a.m. Zane and I felt like it might be valuable to just like cold cut say that and why that is. So Zane, what is in a sentence, in a paragraph, the Doldrums to you?
In a literal sense, it is the time frame between probably 2:30 and 5:45 a.m. And what occurs in between those hours, why it's important, why it makes us feel the way it does, and yeah, what makes that block of time so interesting and
so
unique
and challenging.
Yes. That's what I would say.
I don't think you can summarize it better than that.
Yeah. And we are going to each individually bring music to the table that we think represents how that feels, and also when we've experienced the Doldrums in our life, or even listened to music exclusively in that time frame.
Yeah, during that time frame.
Yeah,
it takes on
or
music
anything.
you listen to at like 5 p.m. versus at that time can be
Very
two
different.
totally different songs,
Very
even
different.
if it's the same song.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, like Zane said, we've gone through and he's picked a couple tracks and I've picked a couple tracks, and they just touch on that feeling, that idea, and it all is coming at you now live on Radio 3 Hive.
And from my living room.
Live from Zane's living room.
Zane's living room.
And live to you on Radio 3
Radio
Hive.
3 Hive.
But this
exclusively.
was, yes.
Sorry. Sorry, you. Go ahead.
That's it.
Okay.
It's just going to be messy, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the show. Mwah.
Try me out
as Zane said, that was Orange Soda by Faerybabyy. Zane, why that track? And what is, as far as the theme of our episode, what is the Doldrums for Zane? What does that look like for you? What does it sound like for you? That's what we're doing.
So, right now, I mean, for that song particularly, it's just in rotation. I think, I feel like I listen, you know, I have my playlist, I got my set genres to say. I compartmentalize my music by playlist, by how I want to feel when I'm, you know, but I just have been recently, that's just come up because I've been listening to a lot more of, I don't even know what you would call that. I
just that blend, that genre, that sound.
Yeah, like French Police. I don't know if you know Ventures Virtua, or is that how you pronounce their name? They have the album Lionheart.
Oh, okay, I know Lionheart.
Yeah,
and my barber turned me on to French Police a few years ago.
Yeah, or
like Mulchadoma that I shouted out earlier.
Yeah, and even Current Joys is kind of, I feel like honestly pioneered that a little bit. I mean, not as much, but like exploring that recently, which is very, I feel like Doldrums-esque.
Like for you, or
for
just
me in particular?
Like your interpretation of it.
My interpretation of it, I think historically it feels that way. Also, just because the Doldrums, I think, or that idea is like very bleak and isolated. You know, it's desolate and very introspective.
Yep. I agree.
And I find myself listening to that kind of music. I mean, this was more of a pop, track than it was anything else. But
I was gonna say yours also had like some nostalgia, some almost undertones of like light at the end of the tunnel, hope, kind of. There was this almost a filter.
That's what this track felt like to you?
Yeah, where it touched on what you were saying, where there was like lyrically, there were themes of isolation and negative attitude, bleak demeanor, etc., etc. But it also, because of like you're saying, there was this much more pop kind of tinge or flavor on it.
Yeah, it was a little bedroom pop.
Yeah, there was like this almost yin yang of like the good with the bad.
Some Claro in there.
Yes.
Yeah, some pretty girl vibes. I think
I just find that interesting because Lexi and I both touched on a similar thing where the Doldrums is like when you acknowledge that stuff, like shit is shit, essentially. There's no two ways about it. When you're in this negative place, when you're in a bad space, it's hard to not recognize it for what it is, right? Like if it quacks and it walks like a duck, it's a duck, kind of a thing. But how her and I both touched on this during our recording as well as with our track lists, that it's not like hope is lost, it's just hard to find. That track kind of felt almost again like a yin yang of those two things for me. It's kind of what I got from it.
That's interesting you feel that way. I think, I mean, to kind of riff off you, like it's, I guess a lot of the Doldrums for me too, or like at least when I've talked about you, or just that idea is that it's just shitty right now.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like I think there's that bleak part of having to get through that part of the day, right?
Yep.
With like,
or through that part of life, that time, that etc. It's
relative.
relative.
And so, I don't know. And so I'll listen to music that feels that way very particularly. I think, but with this track specifically, it's just what's been in rotation now, because I've been finding myself, awake, and my sleep schedule is flipped just with how I've been operating in recent months.
Yeah.
But I've also always just resonated with that sound. I think for me, when I was saying, like, lack of a better term, like Soviet or brutalist, is because it feels very, honestly, just Soviet coded. Like even Corbin, like in his most recent video, like with carbon monoxide, it's filmed in like a concrete silo, and it feels very. I really don't know how to. I feel like there are better terms to describe this than like
those
old age Soviet.
Well, I think people are going to
even
understand what you're referring to.
Yeah, I really want to say. I don't know if this is politically correct, but I want to say Slavic. like
I
just.
don't think that's not politically correct.
I don't.
That just
but I'm like, I'm just. I don't know how else to describe it.
I get you.
Yeah. But I think that it is also just historically like. In being in a communist environment where the government controls all form of,
Well, there's just like some.
Well, there's a reason.
When you're in a regime,
There's a
when
reason,
you're
yeah.
under authoritarianism,
Well,
and
there's-
so many things are like framed and like given to you, and they're like, this is the only interpretation of this. There is bloom, and there is like ingenuity and evolution that comes from being under the thumb of that, so to speak.
Well, yeah, you're kind of like, well, I can't, everybody gets the same thing, and it's this way, and the government, this is the way stylistically things are going to be, and a lot of it is brutalist, right? Or very like, even just architecturally speaking, and I feel that's a very common theme, or at least popularized in a lot of media you see nowadays, talking about architecture or very avant-garde stylistic things like that. And
For sure.
I'm kind of riffing on this because it just feels like that. But I think historically, like even on theme, it's like this just is this way, and it's cold, and it's void of community and like
Culture, in a sense,
or just
like the culture
expression,
is-
I mean, that's like, so I think even Lionheart is about that. I think historically that was what that album was made for. It came out in 2020, but that album and it's like, that's what I feel like, that is the best
I got
piece
you.
of musical media that I know captures that feeling. And I think that's very, very a part of the Doldrums for me, like a big part of it is like that sound. It is very like, it just feels cold. I mean, it's in this track. There's these bedroom pop, and kind of really indie riffs that are kind of synth drenched and easy to kind of grasp on, but it still feels very like grainy. And I think because there is this filter, again, on theme of like, oh, this is kind of like, I don't know what I'm kind of just like getting ahead of myself here, but it's grainy, and it feels compressed. I guess this is what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
There's this compressed.
There's like a degree
part
of
like
restriction.
Yeah. It doesn't really feel
Organic, free-flowing, natural.
which is, it's intentional, but part of it feels like this is like there's some kind of filter or veil being put on this that's it's like, I don't know, it just feels like there's this compression to it, and almost like it exists in spite of that, right? And that's what makes this feel kind of
that
like
environment is what has spawned it. That's like the reason that it is what it is because of the nature that it was familiar with.
And that's kind of how I feel when I'm in the doldrums, so to speak. Where I'm feeling that way, where I'm like, I just have to feel this way because it's happening and it's where I'm at. And like, it's very specific to that environment. And there's other songs that I'm excited to show that kind of feel that way, but specifically this track in particular, I've been exploring a lot of that sound with the French Police and Bitches Go Try. Other kind of these like very driving, punchy synth, and like they use a lot of studio drum track. It's like a drum pad, just like really, like honestly, drums that don't really feel human. They're very robotic. It's like a constant like kick, and then like a and
like you said, it has this pace. It has this drive, but it's
this
machine.
Kind of, it's
non-organic.
Exactly. And so sometimes I feel that way when I'm, because I'm like, I just feel like I'm not like, when I'm a product of my environment of like extreme consumerism and industrialism in a way that I have to even live in my own personal life. Like at the end of the day, like the infrastructure is the way it is, and I have to, whether or not I want to like be like I don't want, okay, like in a simple term, like if I don't want to use fossil fuels, but I have to go in a car or some other way to get to where I need to go, and that's just because of road-based infrastructure. Right? It's just what I have to fucking do. And it's kind of an annoying thing, and it kind of like, I don't want to sound like part of me feels like I'm sounding privileged talking about this, but I'm just to wrap it back around to like how it feels sometimes, where I'm like, like I can't. Even in my mind, like I'm visualizing driving past like the huge ass fucking factory in Bonneville that just smells like sulfur.
Yeah.
Like that's straight out of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It's even got like the flaming fucking
No, it's
pipes
true.
at the
It
top.
is.
And you're like,
there is a very unique sensation on that part of I-15.
yeah, I'm like,
I know
if you
exactly what
just
you're talking
just copy and pasted that in the whole valley
Yeah.
and made like, and you had just that's
It
Blade
used
Runner.
to it used
Like,
to feel that way driving down even just like Geneva Road before Vineyard
Yeah.
existed. Like I remember doing that
Mm-hmm.
in my adolescence. I was in the back seat of like the Grand Wagoneer my parents had through my whole childhood, and
Uh-huh.
that's pretty much relative to me being like 6. That's how I remember that feeling, because that road was so dark, and it was, you have Geneva Steel,
Yeah.
and then you have just all this industry out there
It's just-
before the Harley
yeah,
Davidson building
it's
got
just like-
built, and it just felt like it
Like there's
describing.
it's like there's metal in the air.
Yeah.
It's like, there's there
there's
literally
just-
is sulfur in the air. Around there,
Yeah,
and you
there's
fucking
just this
smell
like
it.
weight that
And that
like what's the word? Community, that neighborhood. It felt different.
yeah, it's industrial, and so I think like the Doldrums is industrial to me because it's very like, industrialism is very outside of my control, but I'm very much affected by how it feels to live in a society that's built around that.
Yeah,
And I think that absolutely manifests into like, when I look back historically of when I felt the sense of solid, this idea of being really
there's like
scared
isolation and
or,
there's
like,
fear
really
and
depressed.
uncertainty. And,
or just like hurt
Yeah.
and like succumb to whatever's happening in my life. I don't know. I mean, it's just like, even there's a lot. I think it's romanticized too in a way, like with New York and like being like you see.
oh yeah, no,
even-
there's a great deal of
like being
romanticized
alone in the
suffering
city
and isolation.
Yeah, absolutely.
In media and in
But
even
this,
just
I think,
life.
in this, when I listen to this kind of music, it's like, yeah, true, but also like, no, this sucks ass.
Yeah. No, there,
Like, and it's
it
like-
is both.
Yeah. For sure.
Perfect. Hell yeah. Our next track does not necessarily encapsulate all of that, but I think it definitely touches on some of it, particularly much more what you touched on there at the end with just this sucks. This next track, what I've picked for us to play is by Elvis Depressedly. This is going to be Hurt Everything.
Sleep becomes a shelter from a memory half dead. The house is full of spiders now, there's a rage inside my head. Obsession wears your wedding gown down to a thread. And this heartless wilderness held you as you bled. Terrified and locked inside, regretting every day. This is better just to kill it now before it gets away. Do with me what you will, yeah, anything's okay. This heartless wilderness feels so far away.
feature what you featured for us. What is it, and why did you feature it?
Yeah, so it's Erik by Fog Lake. Fog Lake as an art, like I mean, he was my most listened to artist this year. I had like 3,000 or 4,000 minutes of just Fog Lake, which isn't a ton, but like,
It's not a small amount.
It's not a small amount,
like
but
at all.
even the name I feel like is very self-explanatory. Fog Lake.
Yeah.
You know, and
No, I'm immediately brought. It's not a lake; it was the ocean. But when we went to whatever it was in Oregon, that one day, where the whole
to Ghost Beach, I think.
With the ghost tree, Ghost Wood,
something beach.
that shit. That's
Spirit
what.
Beach, yeah.
That's where I go.
It wasn't Cannon Beach, but
Mentally,
that's
it's
exactly
where I'm
kind of
just
how I
like-
feel too. Yeah, it's very foggy and. Funny enough, I've had really, really interesting experiences listening to Fog Lake in the South, where, you know, in Mississippi and Tennessee, when it would rain, when I was working out there, and it was very, you know, yeah, like for sure the fog was over and it was thick. Like, you don't get that fog up here, like,
No.
when it's less not humid, but
Yeah.
it's exactly what it fucking feels like. I mean, you know, but specifically Fog Lake is, this album in particular is important to me. It's Virgo Indigo. I would periodically listen to this whole album all the way through, probably twice a month. Just I find my a space where I needed to give that time and attention. But there's a few tracks I wanted to pick from the Fog Lake in particular. I'd say Loki, my favorite song of his is Catacombs. But from Virgo Indigo, I'm trying to remember if Father Reaches is also off the same album. But it was that, or it was this or Father Reaches, and I don't know. I just feel like the song speaks for itself. Like,
I agree.
it's so ambient. It's so quiet. It's so
But
calm.
again, lyrically,
it's
there's
very
like some
opaque. Like,
Desolate. There's
yeah,
a bleak, kind of isolating.
yeah. I feel like I'm mourning with this one,
Yeah.
and I literally am, as of the most recent year, and it's very applicable for me right now. And I think that's why Fog Lake is my number one as of this year.
Yeah.
But you know, in contrast to, like, I feel like this, it gives me the space to like actually feel just like, yeah, I don't know, I to feel the openness and just honestly, yeah, the sheer depression and sadness that comes sometimes with being in the doldrums, right? But this like elegantly walks you through it. You know, you feel very.
In a sense, this is almost like.
It's like I'm being guided.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the
like-
funeral procession, but no one's like looking down, and it's not raining per se. It's like
Yeah.
overcast, and everyone is like heads held high, kind of.
Or just like, yeah, it's like I'm able to be an observer of however this makes me feel through this process. You know, like I feel like I'm walking through it very elegantly.
Yeah.
But it's very hard. It's not an easy walk. It's like it's through molasses, but for some reason it doesn't feel sticky. It's very elegant.
Yeah.
And it's a huge part of the doldrums to me, you know, and this absolutely signifies that.
No, I agree wholly. Thank you for not only turning me on to Fog Lake this year, but specifically now. That track in our track list, I've selected to follow that up with Memories of Opal by the Bedside Kites. mentioned that you wanted to talk about the Bedside Kites Memories of Opal. What do you got?
Well, that was in my next rotation, and I was gonna put that in there. That or Deep Brown Eyes.
We're on the same way.
And it's funny. I mean, this isn't. Part of me feels like I'm being hella pretentious because this is all just indie music. This is,
For sure. That's like.
I feel like I need to at least address that. I'm like.
Well, yeah. Is there a more pretentious audience than indie though? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess that's just my own insecurities coming out. I feel a little pretentious or just annoying talking about music in this way.
Maybe like Charlie XCX hyperpop fans. I feel like there's a great deal of pretentiousness there.
Or probably the 1975 fans.
Yeah.
Which I love the 1975. So.
I got you.
But
I don't think it's bad to acknowledge that there are certain persons who are fans of things who make them kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Don't let that distract or interrupt like your feelings or what we wanted to talk about with Memories of Opal.
With Memories of Opal specifically, why it's important to me is because we've talked about entrapment, and then I've gone through mourning.
Yep.
And with Memories of Opal specifically, I'm like romanticizing it. Mm-hmm. And
no, that's absolutely a track that I romanticize suffering with. I look back with like a degree of nostalgia on some of the shittiest moods and shittiest like post-relationship, mid-relationship kind of struggles and drama that I've experienced, and that track is like the go-to soundtrack.
Well, and I think we were just absolutely experiencing the same things when we were listening to that album, that EP.
Yep.
But
that's why you said Deep Brown Eyes too, and that song is absolutely that second pick on that record for me.
And I think romanticizing sadness, specifically with me, and something that I intrinsically have had to deal with throughout my upbringing, is I would romanticize things like that because it was. As I've gone through a severe healing journey, right? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people can relate to this. Yeah. But like, sometimes you miss being depressed or miss being absolutely confined to your circumstances, as negative as they were, because it's all you knew and it was safe and secure and familiar.
Yeah, it was almost like the sadness was a cocoon in a sense.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like. And I find myself doing that now, or when you start to resolve or creep back into old patterns, it's wrong, but like, dude, you long for it. You almost, and you romanticize it because it's like, dude, this is safe, and this is known, and it's also like hard not to want to romanticize those parts of your life because it makes it feel special. Yeah. And it makes it feel like it was real and it happened and it justifies
it's like
a lot of the strong.
Validating.
Yes. Yeah. And I absolutely, when the Doldrums comes to mind, there are multiple different, I feel like almost like stages of emotions that you feel. And that's kind of how I wanted to approach walking through this, is these different songs that represent those different parts of the whole environment. Yeah. But like the romanticization and the longing is like, this is absolutely, I feel that way. Because like this track makes me so sad and it feels such a knot in my gut. But I'm also like visually thinking of like how bright and vibrant the trees were in fall and like the smell of like,
It immediately brings you to like a place, an environment, a time.
And that's inherently very pleasant and amazing things. And
wait, again, like I know I riffed on it a lot earlier, but like the yin yang and like the good with the bad and the. But that to me is, I guess, ultimately like kind of what the Doldrums comes down to, is that despite all the shittiness, all the negativity, regardless, you can always also like visualize or reflect on or acknowledge that there's like beauty and grace and peace and tranquility that also coexists alongside it or as a part of it. And that is relative to every person who is familiar with or at all experienced with like this emotion, subject matter, et cetera, because again, it's so relative.
Right.
Does that bring you into our next track?
Yes, because I think it's along the same theme, but it's very I think I don't know how to, I'll figure it out. But yes, into the next track, same thing. I think just by genre, it's it's kind of Obviously, it's indie. Everything's indie nowadays. I'm so broad now. But this next track is "Follow You" by Pop Unknown.
with no regrets, a chance to watch, admire the distance, still occupied, though you forget. Different colors, different shades, overreach, mistakes were made. I took the blame. Directionless, so plain to see. A loaded gun won't set you free. So you say. We'll share a drink and step outside. An angry voice and one who cried. We'll give you everything and more. This thing's too much, can't take much more. What water, run through fire, can't seem to feel it anymore. It was me, waiting for me, hoping for something more. Me, seeing me this time, hoping for something else.
Zane played Follow You by Pop Unknown, and I followed it up with New Dawn Fades by Joy Division. And going forward, Zane, you've made us a cue.
Yeah, I got a little lineup here with a different vibe. Did you want me to? Was I supposed to say that I did Pop Unknown?
No,
Okay, because I
not
yeah,
not explicitly.
I think you. I thought you were gonna go, and then you were like waiting for me to say something, and
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Do you wanna?
Well, I'll say this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go
what
into this. This next string, I got. What do we got? 1, 2. I got 3. Okay. Well, I have 5 tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
5 tracks.
But you're gonna do 4,
the first 3.
right?
Huh?
We're gonna come up after Idol or before?
No. Right before Idol.
Before Idol.
So I'm gonna do
So you're gonna
3
do
back to back here, and then we'll talk about those, and then it's a bit of a vibe change. But right now we're gonna go into some. I call it synthwave or like vaporwave derivative music. That's very important to me to like. I mean, it's in a cliche sense. It's like night drive, outrun kind of. There's one specific band that does it very well. They're the Midnight. They'll have a track in there. So gonna be really synth heavy 80s inspo, but and also vaporwave adjacent kind of thing. So, but you'll see. But we'll run into that and then we'll talk about it. So this is again Hans and Zane exclusively with Radio 3 Hive. You are listening to the Doldrums.
does it take to get to the tootsie center of a Tootsie Bar?
Find out. Find out.
Fell in love with the feeling, didn't fall in love with you. It was a song I was singing, it wasn't meant for you. I'm sorry that I can't stay, and I'm sorry we're like years away. I bite your lip and you taste like summertime. I can't forget hear echoes in the streetlights, in between those spaces, in the moments. Come and find me where we let go. Come and find me where we let go. I fell in love with the feeling and your funny faces. You were beautiful and broken in all the right places. I'm sorry that I can't stay, and I'm sorry we're like years away. Millions behind, or light years ahead. Our time is now, our time was then. And I hear your voice inside of my head, but it's just a silhouette. Do you wonder what happens to all of love we lose? Echoes in the streetlights, in between those spaces, in the moments. Come and find me where we let go. Come and find me where we let go. Come and find me where we let go. Do you want your tears back? There it goes. I'm sorry. Echoes in the streetlights, in between those spaces, in the moments. Come and find me where we let go. I hear echoes in the streetlights, in between those spaces, in the moments. Come and find me where we let go. I'm sorry. Come and find me where we let go.
Oh, you need me to go right now? Yeah, no, I'm bad. I don't know. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
I'm not good at this.
That's okay.
Anyways,
This
welcome
is a first
back.
for you.
Hello. I hope that was a pleasant chat. What were you gonna say?
I can cut as much of that.
Oh, okay.
Off
Well,
the front as you.
Would you want me to say welcome back?
Yeah, I mean it's not like
Okay.
a YouTube video. We don't have. I mean there might be.
Yeah.
There is some degree of a returning
Okay.
audience here.
Well, I'll let you
so
decide what you want to do. You can
Just
keep all
no,
that,
go for
or
it, jump in.
well, welcome back again.
Just make sure you say the tracks. And
The audio is a little different because everything in Provo closes at 9 p.m. and we had to leave. And
Yeah,
it was-
because Provo's fake and boring.
So now it's normal and not ambient and public sounding.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know how different this is gonna sound.
We'll see.
Like I said, the vibe at your house is great though.
Yeah, we're at my house, everybody.
I love it here. This is my favorite house.
That stretch of songs, we started off with
My Eyes by Bodyline. That's not on streaming services. You have to find that on Bandcamp. Bodyline is a...
We love Bandcamp.
We love Bandcamp. It's probably on other, niche streaming services and YouTube and other things like that. And then after that, it was Endless by Lorra, which is a little more known. You see that on probably some TikTok or Instagram edits of whatever. And then Light Years by The Midnight, which is really good. I love The Midnight. There's a lot of songs that sound like that for The Midnight that I wanted to throw in here, but that was what I chose.
Yeah, you stuck with Light Year.
We stuck with Light Year.
Light Years.
Light Years.
Excuse me.
Light Years by The Midnight.
Yeah,
So that's the 3 tracks in order. My Eyes, Bodyline, Endless by Lorra, Light Years by The Midnight. Bit of a change,
Coming up.
as you could tell. Yes.
Coming up, too. You had a change. Now we have another change.
We do have another change.
So, why the new change?
The new change? So, okay. Well, I wanted to do this kind of like synth wave, very 80s inspired run of things, because it's cliche, and I don't really show The Midnight. I love The Midnight. I do not let anyone know that I love The Midnight, because
is there like an embarrassment about that?
Well, it's just so cliche, and yeah, I think maybe I feel a little embarrassed or shameful even that I'm like
a fan. Well,
it's just kind of, I feel like it could be cheesy. And okay. I feel like it's cheesy. I don't know. Maybe that's just, again, maybe I'm a little insecure about it, but I feel that. But I love listening to that at night. And there's like The Midnight specifically captures a vibe, an energy that I think a lot of synthwave artists try to, but don't. It feels very like other artists with Outrun and synthwave is very like manufactured and almost like it feels like YouTube like put on the background music. Yeah. But The Midnight is very intentional and very cohesive about their sound. So Light Years is an older track from them, but if you like that, dude, go listen to The Midnight. They have listen to Endless Summer back and front to back, no skips. Such a good album. But I wanted to start with Bodyline. It's vaporwave, it's really mundane, it's repetitive, and it's liminal, right? And I think
there's definitely like some absence that just like comes through.
Yeah, and if you don't, vaporwave is very I collect vaporwave vinyl. I'm sure you know that. And for me, the reason why is because even in itself, it's fun to do that because vaporwave is very sample heavy. All of vaporwave is most of the time even just they rip an entire song and slow it down, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's true.
Like especially with like Saint Pepsi.
Yeah, there are whole
and Dan Mason.
Artists that's like their thing.
Yeah, and some of the most.
Shit, Dan Mason.
Yeah,
I should feature something from Hypnagogia, bro.
Yeah, no, but like, fire. And there's sometimes a lot of vaporwave tracks I'll hear, and I'm like, I'll hear the real song, and I'm like, oh, they stole the vaporwave track, but I'm like, I forget that it's actually just it's like it's. But that's like the culture of vaporwave is it's supposed to tap into this uncanny sensation. Like I'm sure everyone has heard of Macintosh Plus, Floral Shop, that first song off or second song off the album. It's designed to kind of like, taps into your uncanny valley a little bit, where you you can't really tell if it's one way. And it's kind of jarring. Vaporwave isn't supposed to necessarily be an unappealing listen. It is in a lot of ways, and there's a lot of subgenres. Yeah. But that's why I like collecting it, and that's why
you can go so many different directions with it.
Yeah.
All while still being under the umbrella of vaporwave.
Yes, but that's kind of what it feels sometimes. Though there's an aspect of the Doldrums that's very, very uncanny, and sometimes when you're there, you'll navigate, and you just feel like you're kind of in a locked up dream of like
almost like a paralysis of sorts.
Yeah, and you have to kind of like
it's like. For me, it feels a lot like time simultaneously stops, but also keeps going. Where you feel stuck in stationary, you feel rooted somewhere, but it's like it's like when you lay down and you see the Earth's rotation, but you're not moving.
Yes, it's like liminal.
Yeah,
and and vaporwave taps into that. That is what it's about. That's what to me at least, like that's what it's derivative of. That's what the culture is about. Like. And there's something about analog and the eeriness of like replication and mirroring. I don't know. There's just like, it to me fits into the Doldrums as an aesthetic in a very literal way as well. Or what were you saying?
I just was going to ask if any of that you're touching on within your last 3 tracks relates to your upcoming tracks.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going on a tangent. It absolutely does. And,
Excuse me.
I don't want to talk more about Endless and Light Years, but that's obviously just a very nostalgic. Those are 2 nostalgic songs. And just Light Years is a little more stoic. And like there's something about being on the road at night, 2 to 6 a.m.
Yep.
Just driving.
Yeah.
Like into the unknown. Right, and that's kind of what Outrun is, right? And so that's kind of why I featured those. Lorra is a little more, ambient and whatever. But the next 2 tracks, I just wanted to end with these because when I was first asked about this episode, the next track is going to be Idol by Spooky Black, a.k.a. Corbin. Saw him 2 weeks ago.
So good.
So good. We both saw him. It was amazing. He signed my CD, whatever. I loved it. Corbin now, originally Spooky Black. When I thought of the Doldrums, this song was what like my brain first went to. It's really short. It's not even. I don't think it's more than 3 minutes. But I even have a specific memory of I visited my family in Idaho, and dude, it was like I was by myself. One of the first times I had just on a whim left and took time to just, I don't know, be somewhere else.
Yeah, like go
when I was
do
younger,
something.
just in high school. Yeah. And I was very emotional at the time or whatever. And I was going to the gym late at night, and it was like, dude, I don't know, something about, I think it was summer in Idaho, and this night it was raining. There was lightning. It was like drizzling, but there was lightning just shooting across the sky, but it was quiet. It was so far away, but it was just like lighting up the sky. And I shuffled, I think my entire music library, and Idol came on. And that's what I think of when I hear this song too. And it's just so, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of traveling through that time space of like dark, stormy, purple night, and it's kind of terrorizing and also just like completely somber. I don't know. And I don't know. That's what the Doldrums feel like to me, is Idol by Spooky Black. And then the next track I'm going to be ending is, everybody knows this. It's Bon Iver, Restacks from Forever Forever Ago. Perfect album.
Unchangeable.
I don't think it could be a more vulnerable, perfect album.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for me, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like I've always felt that way, and I was reluctant to put it on here, but I like, because I think we're jumping a lot of genres here. But
hey, that's not bad.
Yeah, I know. But
you don't need permission to do that.
Right. But with Restacks, dude, I mean, the Doldrums in a nutshell, outside of everything that we've explored, it's just sad, and it's just somber and heavy.
Yeah, there's
a despondence. But it's also peaceful, right? And tranquil. And I haven't really tapped into any Restacks is peaceful, right? It is tranquil, and just like you said. And that's why it's most important to me, is because through this process, though, that is the Doldrums in my mind, of all these weird and intense and kind of opaque and twisted emotions, there's peace in all of it, right? Because there's something peaceful about solidarity and exploring that. And yeah, Restacks is
well, it's a perfect soundtrack for that.
That's all it is. So that's why I have those in the lineup. Anyways,
we'll let those run, and then that'll be Zane's run.
That'll be my take
after
for the Doldrums.
Restacks from Bon Iver. We'll get back with you guys, and I'll run with a few tracks. Zane, do you want to close us out and then move us into Idol?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I feel like I said everything I want to say. I guess, Restacks is the ultimate finisher for me, because throughout this process, you find peace. Or that's, I think, what we're all trying to do, or at least yearning for when you're in the doldrums, right?
Yep.
And what ultimately can come, and usually does, but so that's what we're ending it. The rest is Hans. This is
I
my
don't know about the rest. But
the rest. What do you mean?
The track after Bone of Air will certainly
The track.
be mine.
Sorry, not
We'll
the
see
rest.
how much farther
Sorry,
this
yeah, we're
goes.
doing idle restacks, and then after
And then
that,
it will be whatever song I throw
it'll
after Bone of
be,
Air.
yeah. That's me. That's my take on these things. A little unprepared, but I think that's good because I just it's kind of quick to it. But this is
going good.
this is how I think
It's
I would
organic.
navigate that feeling, or what is the doldrums and what that represents to me in my life.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anyways.
with that, we're going to segue into, again, Idol by Spooky Black.
Yep.
I'm Hans. You are.
I'm Zane.
And we are co-hosting.
We are friends.
And
We are the power friendship. We are together right now.
Co-hosting
Yeah.
the Doldrums.
On Radio 3 Hive exclusively. Yeah.
Try my best to pass time, and you didn't even notice it. No, you never noticed it. Hard to figure out my kind when I'm focusing on you close to me. Alright.
This my excavation to days everything that happens is from now. This is boring. This is paralyzed. I keep throwing it down too. Hundred at a time. It's hard to find it when you knew it. When your mind is gone and you're drunk as hell. On your back with the wrecks as the stacks you low. On your back with the wrecks and the stacks you low. On your back with the wrecks and the stacking you low. I've been twisting to the sun. I needed to replace. And the fountain in the front yard's rusted out. All my love was down in a frozen ground. There's a black crow sitting across from me. His wiry legs are crossed. He's dangling my keys. He even fakes a toss. Whatever could it be that has brought me to this loss? On your back with your wrecks as the stacks you low. On your back with the wrecks and the stacks you low. On your back with the wrecks and the stacking you low. This is not the sound of a new man or a crispy realization. It's the sound of the unlocking and the lift away. Your love will be safe with me.
Like Zane said, that was Idle by Spooky Black and Restacks by Bon Iver. And that concludes his tracks as far as what he's selected to feature here on today's episode. I'm going to do another little run. These next three are all ones that I've picked. They've been on rotation for me recently. A lot of what Zane and I have been talking about is felt not like exclusively by us by any means. I think it's a thing that a lot of people are familiar with and experience. It's just that everyone does it in their own ways. And for me recently, a lot of how I've been feeling and a lot of developments in my personal life has sent and pushed me into not necessarily new territory, but definitely unfamiliar territory. The subject matter that I'm like familiar with or have experienced has like evolved essentially, and through that you try not to fall back on like old habits, negative habits, etc., etc. But some things stay the same, and for me these next three tracks are from albums that I think are just going to be kind of eternal in a sense. It's really hard to follow up Restacks, a perfect closer to a perfect record. But my next three, we're going to start with we're not. We're going to start with, for me, a perfect record, a 10 out of 10. It's Sufjan Stevens, Carrie and Lowell. I'm going to start us off with Should Have Known Better, and then we'll run into our next two tracks, and then Zane and I will be back with a closer. So, I'm Hans. You've been listening to the Doldrums, exclusively on Radio 3 Hive.
Should've known better to see what I could see. My black shroud holding down my feelings, a pillar for my enemies.
not go back to the old house. There's too many bad memories, too many memories. When you cycle by, here begin all my dreams. The saddest thing I've ever seen. And you never knew how much I really liked you, because I never even told you. Oh, and I meant to. Are you still there? Or have you moved away? Or have you moved away? I would love to go back to the old house, but I never will. I never will. I never will.
You walk up on the raised edge, hands out for balance, slipping you almost grab mine, but you find your feet. And I never wanted so much someone to fall. It's just been a weekend, but in my mind we summer in France with our genius daughters now. And you teach me to play the piano. You call, I'll be there. What's more, I'm scared of the phone. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find some way to keep me in your mind. And later on, everyone will say it was cool. She had Billie Eilish style, moving to Berlin for a little while, trying to find something to hold on to. Never texts me nothing, but she wants to tell me she's not that hard to find. And message me if you change your mind, darling, I'll keep fine. the Milky Way trying to get home to you. And you bring some piece of the stars. Call, I'll be there once more. I'm scared of the phone. Don't ring it, please no. That I'm just trying to find some way to keep me in your mind. And later on, everyone will say it was cool. She had Billie Eilish style. Moving to Berlin for a little while, trying to find something to hold on to. Never texts me nothing, but she wants to tell me she's not that hard to find. And message me if you change your mind, darling, I'll keep fine. Everyone will say it was cool. Oh, she had Billie Eilish style. Moving to Berlin for a little while, trying to find something to hold on to. Never text me nothing, but she wants to tell me she's not that hard to find. And message me if you change your mind, darling, I'll keep fine.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I did it first this time.
Yeah, you did do it first.
Hans just did a generational run after my generational run. We're both generational here.
Facts.
We're both friends too. We love each other.
Love you.
Yeah. Anyways, we can go into this this next section here. I'm gonna ask the question. Hans.
Yep.
Introduce me. Walk me through. Guide me. Walk beside me. Help me find the way. What is the first?
Throwback to primary.
Yeah. What's the first track here, and how does it go into this next run? And why did you decide it? What speaks to you?
Well, we did,
How does
following up Restacks, I did Should Have Known Better by Sufjan Stevens. And then following that was Back to the Old House by the Smiths. And then closing out the show, pre this outro, was Good Will Hunting by Black Country New Road. I don't necessarily think the three of them support the Doldrums outright in terms of what we've kind of been describing or been alluding to. I do think that the subject matter of the tracks is more, at least recently, relatable to me, just due to like personally some developments that have arisen, or like just this time of year is hard for a lot of people, and I think only recently have I really come to terms with the fact that it's like okay that it sucks. I've always been kind of in denial because like it's the holidays, right? You want to like get together and have that fucking Home Alone moment, right? Where it's this big house full of all your family and
That
it's
Home
everyone
Alone
that you
moment
care
where
about,
you're
and then
left
you almost
behind.
kill two people.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
I didn't know which Home Alone moment. There's a lot of Home Alone moments.
More for me, I guess I say that in the sense that it's like, yeah, Kevin, like low key sucks, right? There's like, he's clearly forgotten, and then the whole point of the film is that they make this mad dash back from Paris to like, save him, and like, it comes together, and then for the second movie they fucking lose him in New York with a pedo of all people. But that's
So
not what we're referencing.
Are you saying like
more at the beginning, where like pre Kevin's being forgotten, more just like everyone in that family is like very problematic, essentially, right? Like they all bring their own quirks. That's like the human element of it, but they're all still getting together and putting that aside for the holidays. So like,
right,
the brother with a girlfriend who sucks, and then dad is dad, and then mom is whatever. And then there's the little nephew with the Pepsi who just is like going crazy, and then Kevin has that stare down with it. Like all of that, right, is where the family has this big get together moment. And I think I've just come to terms recently, specifically this year, again with these developments that you know about as far as my personal life, that I never had that, and I'll never have that until I find it, or like I make that happen for myself. My family structure never enabled for that. And these 3 records that these songs come from kind of just allude to that, like
the longing of that or the lack thereof, or
kind of both. Carrie and Lowell is a record that Sufjan Stevens made after, if I recall correctly, after his mom passed away, and it's just about like the very tenuous and like unique and challenging relationship that they had, and like Should Have Known Better, I think specifically touches on where you're like, there's a lyric in there, the past is the past, and it's like, I can't change that, right? Like I can't change my nature, I can't change my nurture. It's just like the upbringing is the upbringing that I've experienced, and now going forward is where I think more than ever before I like am okay with that, whereas previous to this there's been a lot of like denial or almost avoidance of that. This year I think is the first year where I'm fully like, yeah, no, that shit was rough, like that sucked. There was like a lot of shittiness in that. And that's a thing, at least for me recently, as I keep working graves and as I'm like so isolated in my schedule and in my network, that's just a thought that I revisit, is like specifically in this time of year, specifically at these hours that are the Doldrums, I'm hitting that a lot in my mind. And so these 3 tracks, just like I said, the albums that they come from have been on rotation a lot recently, because it's just on the front of my mind. There are just some parts of me that make this part of the year uniquely strenuous, uniquely difficult, and you would never want that to be the case, right? Like again, to the Home Alone example, you would want that to be the perfect scenario. The whole family gets together, everyone kind of puts their differences aside to like make it complete, make it feel right, effective, whatever. Yeah, I just don't have that. So I'm very much one for like found family, and that's a really big deal for me. And now going forward is where I intend on hoping to like recapture the season, because like you've got Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas, you've got my birthday, you've got New Year's. Like you want this to be like a very celebratory, good time of year. And for me, essentially, it just has always been with some degree of a caveat. And I think these songs, for me, allow me to like acknowledge that and live with that, but also look forward as far as not being dismissive to my experience per se, more just being like, that doesn't have to be definitive. That's not like the final. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry, there was a lot of riffing, but
no, riff away. This is the riff show where we riff and then talk about riffs, right? I mean, this ain't my show. I don't know. Is that what we do here?
That's what we've been doing.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
But yeah,
what's interesting, I feel like bringing up Christmas, or the holidays in particular, just like post-winter solstice. Is it solstice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I almost said solace. Post-winter solstice. I feel like even the night has a change, like in light and texture. One, I think, with obviously moisture in the air, it's more scarce, and also like I've noticed. Here in Utah specifically, the sky will get like seafoam green and like imperatively. Oh, am I using imperative right? I don't know. Forget I said that. It gets seafoam green and
excuse me.
Like really, it's weird. There's like right before it gets dark, there's like that green hue in the sky. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Look for it next time.
Okay.
You're just on I-15 and it's like 6:50. Okay. Right? I mean, what it gets dark here when? Like what time? Probably around 6:30. It gets fucking dark here.
I'm
just before it gets dark. It's like the golden hour.
Like post.
It's like post golden hour, and it's like the sky gets It only happens in the winter though. And I feel like I've only seen it.
There's this.
I only
huge,
catch it.
It's almost like a filter.
Dude, it's like this film over the sky of like this, like crystallized, cold bitterness that like takes over the holiday season.
Okay, yeah.
That is very synonymous with I think what a lot of the Doldrums is, and it like, you know, should we explain or you're gonna do that later, or before?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Unless you want to do it now.
No. That's already happened or will happen later. Sorry. The Doldrums as an idea, yeah, it's just I think the holidays and Christmas time, winter, just exacerbates that. Did I say that right? Exacerbates? Sorry, I say things and then
you're good.
Once I'm getting recorded, I'm like, is that right?
I think I know what you're
saying. Exacerbate? I'm gonna Google it. Real quick.
Google it. Let's go.
Hold on, my phone's at 2%.
Make sure you don't trust the AI overview.
Continue to incognito.
Fuck the AI overview.
Exacerbate. Oh, my phone died. Okay. Well. Okay.
Watching that happen in real time was awesome.
Just fucking freezes up. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use a different word. It really intensifies.
Yep.
And complements the Doldrums, and I think everyone universally feels that.
Yep.
You know, and I think that makes a lot of sense, and I mean, is that like
that's it?
I mean, you brought in go through your track list again. You said it was.
So I started with Should Have Known Better, and then I went back to the Old House by the Smiths, and then I ended with Black Country New Roads, Good Will Hunting, off of Ants From Up There.
Oh, okay, so you didn't. Sorry, I thought you put Mac Miller on there.
No, I.
Okay. I'm misremembering.
You're good. I decided against.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't think it fit as well. I couldn't really find one that exactly.
You'll find a spot.
Like I was torn on between Funny Papers, Colors and Shapes. There's 2 or 3 songs up between Swimming and Circles that I could have done too, or the OG version of.
No, I feel like I could riff. I could talk about this agenda for a long time because I was even thinking about like. Notoriously, even when I was young, there's songs I wanted to put in here that are like what I would work out to, because I would drive from here to Iron Ground, at like 4 a.m. and then go.
I'm shocked you haven't worked Grave yet.
I just would do that.
So, like,
I know. I probably need to work Graves, and that's why I feel like.
I don't know about need to, but I certainly think that your natural schedule would favor a degree of that.
But this is why when you mentioned it, I was like, Doldrums is a great idea. Yeah. And hopefully by the time you're at this point in this show, you know what the Doldrums means. Otherwise, this makes no goddamn sense.
I think this track
but I think it's really, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I like. There's some night where I'm thinking about like even Enrique. I could put Enrique Iglesias on here.
Yeah,
like
you
with
could.
times, I could put because of the times we just like every day at like 1 a.m. for a while we would just watch that music video.
Yeah, that's true. That was an awesome routine.
So I don't know. I feel like it calls for like there's ways a sense of community and other things like that just being in that time frame presents
can foster. Yeah.
But I think a very innate, like you were saying, because I relate to that. A very innate desire is community.
Yeah.
And I think that's why that's why it's so odd and weird because the lack thereof is what makes it feel so specific.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's everyone who should. The only people who are awake right now are the ones who have to be.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very.
Or just it's not like a. I don't think anyone would volunteer to be an insomniac. So like they're there because they have to be. Yeah. First responders are there because they have to be. People in warehouses who prefer to be antisocial are there because they feel like it's better. Therefore, by extension, they feel like they have to work that kind of it. Yeah, just structurally.
It's like this is the only other time of my day that I'm, or I should be sleeping. At least even like biologically standing, our bodies are like it's bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where we're wired. So I think, like from a literal fundamental standpoint from our nervous system is like we should not be thinking even at all.
Nope.
Should not be cohesive right now. So
I totally feel that, and I that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, Zane, thank you for featuring on the episode, man.
Dude, thank you for sharing and having me.
Yeah.
I feel
No, this was stellar.
privileged,
I
blessed.
was very excited to try and
Yeah.
involve people who are important to me and people who want to join in on the vulnerability that this kind of exudes and is. So,
Well, dude, hopefully we'll do it again.
yeah, I'd love
Maybe
to.
if you want me on here.
Yeah.
But,
That's really ultimately up to
how
you.
do we outro? What do we do here?
Well, simply put, we'll go, thanks for tuning in. I've been Hans.
Thanks for tuning in. I've been Hans. Oh, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
I didn't tell you I was going to throw to you, but I definitely
No. Well,
that was inferred.
My bad. So here, let's do it again.
I'm going to let you start.
Oh, you want me to start?
I'll go off of
Okay,
whatever
thanks for
you
tuning
do.
in. I've been Hans. Oh, shit. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Zane.
And I've been Hans.
He's been Hans.
And what has this been?
This has been the Doldrums. Exclusively
on Radio 3 Hive.